All right, inequalities, your objective. I will be able to solve and graph inequalities. Okay, here's your vocabulary. Remember, you have your greater than sign. Less than sign kind of makes an L. That's how I at least can tell the difference between the two. You have greater than or equal to, and then less than or equal to, and then not equal to. All right, so graph of inequality, you're going to show all your possible solutions in the inequality. So x is greater than 3 means that x can be any number greater than 3. Okay, it says not included. So when you have a less than or greater than sign, you have an open circle. If it is less than or equal to or greater than or equal to, you have a closed circle. So here we have x is greater than 3, so you're going to put a point on 3. You have a greater than sign, so it's not equal to, so you're going to have an open circle. So x is greater than the 3, so you're going to shade in all the numbers that are greater than 3. So you can shade in that way, or you can just put an arrow going towards the right. Okay, variables must be on the left side of the inequality. Make sure your x is on the left side. For example, here we have x is less than 4. Okay, they're all posted up. All right, so we have x is less than 4. It is a less than sign, so I have an open circle on 4. It says x is less than, so numbers that are less than 4, we're shading to the left. Okay, so our graph on our second one is -2 is less than or equal to x. So here I'm going to rewrite it because we want our variable on the left side. So I have my x. If you notice, it is open to the x. Okay, your inequality is open to the x, so make sure you have it open to the x when you rewrite it. And then our -2. Okay, so now I have x is greater than or equal to -2. It's a greater than or equal to sign, so it's a closed circle. So it says x is greater than or equal to it, so I'm shading to the right. Okay, so here, what graph does this represent? We have a closed circle, and it's going to the right, so it's greater numbers, so we know we need a greater than symbol, or equal to, since it's a closed circle. Okay, it's at -8 is where our dot is, so x is greater than or equal to -8. Okay, our next one, we have an open circle, so we know we have a less than or greater than sign. It's going to the left, so it's a smaller number, so we know we need a less than symbol. Okay, we have our x, and our point is at 3. Okay, there's at least 6 girls in the classroom. Okay, so here there's at least 6, meaning you can have more than 6 because it says the least amount of girls is 6. Okay, so here's our x. Okay, so we need a greater than symbol because it says at the least there's 6 girls. So there could be more girls. So I'm going to have an open circle at 6, and I'm going to shade to my right. Okay, our next one says there is no more than 5. So that means at most there's only going to be 5 students. Okay, so open, close circle, and we're shading to our left. No more than 5. Actually, it'll just be a open circle. Open circle. Oh, I don't like that. Okay. So solving inequality. So now you know how to graph. Now we're actually going to solve. Okay, so we're going to isolate our variable. Inverse operation. So this is the same thing as solving the equations. Okay, just imagine it as being an equation. Okay, so we are going to choose the smaller constant or the constant on the same side as the variable. So our or 3. So our inverse is to subtract 3 to both sides. 0 pair. 11 minus 3, we get 8. Bring down my 4n. And I'm going to bring down my inequality. I'm going to rewrite it over here. So we have 4 times in. Our inverse is to divide. So I'm going to divide 4 to both sides. So I have my n. Bring down my inequality. 8 divided by 4 is 2. Okay, remember we want to have our variable on the left side. So I'm going to put my n. If you notice, it's pointing to the n. So I'm going to keep it pointing to the n and my 2. So now I know I have n is less than 2. We have a less than symbol, so we have an open circle. Do a different color. Open circle, and n is less than, so I'm going to shade all the numbers to the left because all those numbers are less than 2. All right, our next one, we're going to choose the smaller constant, so I'm going to subtract that 7 to both sides. Bring down my 4k. 28 minus 7, we get a positive 21. Bring down my inequality. Bring down my variable. Okay, I'm going to rewrite it. See, 4k plus 21 is less than or equal to 7k. So I'm going to choose the one that's on the same side as the constant, which is our 4k. So I'm going to undo it by subtracting 4k to both sides. So there's my 0 pair. Bring down my 21, my inequality. 7 minus 4, we get 3k. Divide both sides by 3. So we get 21 divided by 3 is 7. Less than or equal to k. Again, we want our variable on the left side. So if you notice, it's pointing to the 7 or it's open to the k. So I'm going to leave it open to the k. There it's pointing to our 7. So we have k is greater than or equal to 7. So we know we have a closed circle. So since k is greater than or equal to, we're shading to the right. Okay, I do have these you tries. You can give it a try. If you want me to check it, I will check it. Just make sure you bring it up to me.